Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 254 of the On Air Advocate. Where at the On Air Advocate, we look to provide education, support, and empowerment for all of those with different abilities, mental and medical illnesses, and their caregivers. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Tylia Flynn, and I am the host and producer of the On Air Advocate. And I am super excited if you are here this morning joining us bright and early, or whether you are catching this on the replay. Now, as always, if you think any of the content we are talking about today could be relevant for anyone in your network or your circle, please hit the share button and share the love with others. Well, today we brought Cupid into the room because it's gonna be Valentine's Day. And I could not think of any better person to have on the show for our Valentine's Day celebration than Tylia Flores. She is an author, a radio show personality, and a disability activist, and she is one of my favorite people in the whole world. So welcome back, Tylia.
Hey, thank you for having me back on my favorite podcast. This is so awesome.
I'm excited to have you here today, and even more excited that you want to talk with the folks about dating with a disability. And that's something in that space that not everybody, like, people think about it, right? But do they openly talk about it?
No, because they feel like it's taboo for people with disabilities to fall in love or have a relationship or feel that emotion. And that's one of the stigmas that I worked so hard on to debunk,
Yes, yes. And so when we talk about Valentine's Day
Valentine's Day
and all of that, tell me about your experiences as let's go back to like when you were in middle school. What are we hearing there?
middle school.
Yeah, let's go back to middle school time. When people start to have little crushes on people and all of that kind of thing. And in your space, what did you find the most difficulties at that time in middle school that you faced?
Middle school, the most difficulty I found was like really embracing my disability and really accepting that in order for me to find a perfect match, as you put it, because I had low self-esteem, especially after I was friends with the young man. He was my type, little cute blonde boy, blue eyes. I always have to go for the country boys.
Mhm.
And I went up to him right before the 6th grade dance and told him I liked him in gym class. And he goes, "Ew, you're gross looking. You're fat. You're ugly. You look like a gorilla. And I would never go to the dance with you."
Oh my goodness. And were you crushed?
Yeah, I was like really heartbroken after that. My self-esteem was very lowered. I had braces, I had the Harry Potter round glasses. So yeah, I had to deal with learning how to love myself after that,
So do you feel like you were on that journey through middle school and through high school of just accepting yourself and accepting your uniqueness, your
Yes.
disability? Like, do you feel that came full circle at the end of middle school, high school, or do you feel like in your young
Both.
years right now that it's finally full circle now?
Because by the time I was in high school, I had a boyfriend. We were together, but he was ashamed of my disability. Like, if we were out and about with our friends and I wanted to give him public displays of affection, he wouldn't do it.
Oh my goodness.
Because he was like, "I'm too embarrassed to date somebody that doesn't have legs."
And did you find that when you were in middle school or you were in high school that there were any supportive groups or services that talked about these things, like what it's like to be a young lady, what it's like to be a young man wanting to date, wanting to have more of a loving relationship with someone? Did you find that there were any resources to kind of help you through that?
A little bit of no and a little bit of yes, because we did have the sex ed for special education students and it was more moderate. But when it came to self-esteem and dating and getting the counseling we needed, absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. And the boyfriend that you had at that time, so I'm assuming he didn't have a unique ability.
He had autism, but
Okay.
He was ashamed of my disability because he was
He
just,
was ashamed of your visible dis.
yeah.
Okay. And so did you bring that up with him? Did you have conversations, or did you just end the relationship?
We did have several conversations about it, and he would apologize and act nice about it. But the thing is, I think he was influenced by his mother as well because she didn't like me because of that reason neither. So
So
you
you
deal
feel
with that.
very accepting.
Yeah, the parents weren't accepting of the relationship. In fact, they forbid us from seeing each other outside of school. We couldn't really like hang out. It was a tassel to be in a relationship where you kind of have to sneak around. I guess, and the final straw for me with that boyfriend was I sent him a package on Valentine's Day, and the mother sends it back to my house with a nasty note.
What?
Yeah, like she
What
sent
mother is listening? That's not nice.
Yeah, she sends it back with a note. Please do not send such and such gifts. He cannot accept gifts from you.
Oh my goodness.
With her signature on the bottom, and that crushed me.
Well, and you are a disability activist. You are a leader, Talia. You're a leader in so many ways. As you lead in the space as you've gotten older, do you find that you've kind of opened up networks to meet people? Now that you're out of school and stuff, what are the ways that you can meet others? I mean, um how do you connect with well, I mean, guys for a relationship?
Well, with guys, either I like to go outside, and I like to meet different people. Although Facebook's great, the online world is great. I don't like those online dating sites. Like I was on Tinder for like 3 seconds, and I was done. I said, okay, where's the delete button? And I find that if you're not looking for love and you're just focusing on you and learning how to embrace your disability, that's when it comes at best.
Yes. And through all of this, I mean, really, you have to develop that self care and that self love and your own personal self esteem as you move forward. Because I'm sure the way that you were treated by that one boy in middle school, today in this day and age, you'd be like, you're gone.
Yeah,
Tolerate that
that's right. I'm like, okay, you don't like my disability? There's the door. I always tell the men I date, if you ever disrespect me, I'm gonna give you a speed pass on Splash Mountain, the all the way out of my life. Like I don't tolerate nothing.
Yes. And you are in a wonderful relationship right now.
Yes,
Okay,
I
what do
am.
you think makes this is a quiz question? What are the different things that you think make this relationship better than any other one you've been in?
Okay, I can tell you this right off the bat. His parents are supportive. He comes from a very good upbringing. There's a lot of communication, and he understands my disability for what it is. And he's very well driven, and he's very compassionate about what he does. And he allows me to be my own person. Like the guys that I've dated prior to him, they never got my advocacy work. They never appreciated it. And him, he appreciates it. And
And
he encourages me to do things out of my comfort zone. Like, for example, when we were friends, because I had trouble walking for a very long time, I didn't like the way my walker felt when I was in it, and he encouraged me to get in the walker and start walking again. And that's when I knew.
mm-hmm.
That's when I kind of knew because you need somebody that's always going to push you forward, not backwards. And that's when my parents were like, "You're getting in the light gate? What's new?" And they're like, "Oh, it's the new guy." So,
Yes, like I want you to repeat that again for the audience to take in, is that you always want to be with somebody that helps you to.
push forward, not backwards. If you feel like the guy's benefiting from the relationship or the girl and you're not benefiting, let them go.
Mhm. Let them go. Now, it's been COVID. It's been this crazy pandemic. It's been a crazy year and a half. I don't know. I don't think anybody could have seen all of this coming. How have you stayed connected in your relationship through this? And does he live in your area or not in your area?
He doesn't live in my area, so the way we've been connecting is through Zoom or Facebook or Skype. But we still have our little planning to do where we can meet up after the pandemic's over, of course, you know. But we set a time, like, we don't talk 24/7 because I'm always doing like advocacy stuff and he's always doing his thing. So what we do is we set a time in the day. Like, okay, like from 6 to 7, I'm speaking to you then, and possibly to 8. But we usually don't stay on top of the schedule because we're on the phone for hours, but that's after I complete what I have to do for the day.
Yes. So you guys actually kind of schedule time, even though during the pandemic, living apart, that you guys are gonna chat and catch up each day.
Yeah, because I had a talk with him in the beginning. I was like, listen, I need to focus on being a boss person first before I can spend time with you, and he understood that and he respected that, and I feel like that's very important too for anybody listening to this broadcast. If you're in a relationship, don't make that the center of your world.
Right, right. But you still should be aspiring to do the things that.
That you want to do before you met the person, because ultimately the person could walk out, strange things could happen, and then you invested yourself onto this relationship and then you forgot where you were.
Right, in achieving the goals that you were setting out to do. Because really,
Exactly.
the right partner, right? They should be embracing your goals and pushing you forward, like you said, to want you to continue to accomplish them.
Exactly.
Hmm. So, with this Sunday being Valentine's Day, okay,
Oh
what
yeah.
would be your, what would be, because you've mentioned a couple of them, but let's sum them up into one list for people. If there are young ladies or young men that are watching this that sit in the same space as you do and have some frustration, you know what I'm saying, with finding, you know what I'm saying, people who are accepting and all of that, what would be your 5 tips that you would give them about love and relationships?
Okay, for one thing, don't go out looking for it.
Okay, I'm writing all these down.
Don't go on dating sites.
Okay.
They're a no. Take the time to get to know the person. Find the reasons why you love the person, because love is like a flower, it grows each day. And don't use the word I love you so loosely. That's been happening too many times in my generation. And 5, just embrace the ride. And learn how to accept rejection.
Do you all see why I just love Talia? I mean, she's wise beyond her years. She is wise beyond her years, really are. And so, how long have you and your partner been together now?
We we met in August, but we didn't make it official until last month,
Oh, so would this month be like, when is your 1 month anniversary?
the 23rd.
That's right. Okay, so it's not on Valentine's Day.
So we met. So here's a little bit of a background how I met him. We met because Matt Wilford, who's also a community leader at the Mighty and a Mighty leader, is his childhood friend and neighbor. And he
Okay.
was like, "Hey, I have a friend with CP2. His name is such and such." And I was like, "Okay, Matt, whatever. Like, this is just probably going to be a friend that I just talk to periodically." And then one day I get a message on Facebook from this cute country boy with a guitar, and I'm like, who the heck is this? So I just started to chat, but it was something that we didn't plan, because
Right.
we were
Rush her.
we didn't rush it. We just let the friendship grow, and then we realized that we had so much in common that we're like, I think there's something going on here. But at first I played hard to get. I did. I was like, no, no, not gonna happen. I've been in too many of these already. Not gonna happen. And then look what happened.
Yes. And do you feel that it does help a lot that his unique ability is the same as yours, that you both have CP? Do you feel that that really helps? Because like when you're in pain, he can understand what that pain feels like.
Yes. And it's funny because yesterday I called him and I was like, you know what, honey, I have a headache. And he's like, you know what? I've been having the same headache too in the same area. I'm like, oh no, the CPs are hitting it off.
Oh my goodness. But you guys know how to be supportive for each other. So that is the most amazing thing. And I love it. I love it. Would you encourage, other young adults to really, get out there and to, not be reserved, like put yourself out there, like whether it's joining different groups, becoming more like you are an activist. What ways do you think that young adults like yourself can meet people? And
Go out,
on Tinder.
go out into the real world. Drop the dating apps. Go out into the real world and shine your disability and embrace yourself. Because that's the only way you're going to find someone.
Right.
If you just sit behind a computer all day and communicate, then you're really not doing yourself any justice.
Right, right. Because you're not really, like you said in the beginning, the most important part is to embrace yourself, right?
Yeah,
Learning about yourself is so important.
learn how to embrace yourself and fall in love with your disability first.
Yes, I love it, Talia. So, what are your plans on Valentine's Day?
Well, my parents are taking me to see a drag queen show, and then I'm possibly gonna have a guitar session with my boyfriend because I recently started playing guitar. I got a guitar for Christmas, so we're gonna be jamming out to some John Prime or Johnny Cash or
Johnny Cash.
And unfortunately, I have to he knows I have a crush on Blake Shelton, so I kind of have to keep.
I know.
He accepts it because you want to know what else is funny? He said my crush is Miranda Lambert. I said we're a perfect match.
And Blake Shelton is with Gwen Stefani, right?
Oh yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do love his new song, that new love song, that
Minimum Wage. I think.
No, but maybe no one.
I think it's called Nobody Else.
Yeah, Nobody Else But You.
Yeah, with Gwen Stefani. The only reason why I like that video is because he looks so cute in camo.
So Blake, if you're listening, even though she has a serious relationship boyfriend now, she's still your fan, Blake.
I love you, Blake.
All right, so you're gonna do that, and I know that your boyfriend, didn't he write you a song? I feel like I saw that on social.
Yes, he wrote me a song. It's called "If I Could Be Loved," and it was emotional because that was the first time he admitted to me that he had a crush on me. So let me give you a little bit of background. So I'm watching his Facebook Live and he's singing "If I Could Be Loved by You," and I'm thinking the song's for another girl. So his roommate texts me, "Hey Pinky, you gotta check out Joey's life. He wrote this song for this girl." And I'm listening to the song and I'm getting jealous and I'm like, I wonder who the girl is. And his roommate goes, "Well, take a selfie, and then you know who the girl was." So that's a unique.
Oh, I love it. Well, if you don't mind sharing that song when we wrap this up, you could drop that below. That song he made for you.
Yeah, that song is a beautiful song. I cry every time.
That's beautiful. Well, Talia, you have really traveled the journey in this space of dating with your unique abilities and really knowing yourself. And I think that's the most important thing, is that we have to love ourselves before we can love anyone else. We need to accept ourselves, respect ourselves, know our worth before we accept somebody else into our space. And so you have done that gracefully and beautifully. And I am so happy that you came here to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So I would love for you to share with the audience before we wrap up, what do you have new going on, where people can find you, all that other good stuff.
Well, I have my radio show on Asheville FM now, which airs Tuesday, and it's going to be another Valentine's Day special on love. I have my articles that are out, and I can't speak much about future projects as so forth on that, but stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned.
Yes, and any of your new projects that you've finished during the pandemic during the year, please feel free to drop those below so everybody can check that out. And then
My YouTube channel.
Yes, and then what is your website again?
www.tyliaflores.com.
All right, easy enough. Well, thank you, Tylia, for being here with us this morning. And I hope our Valentine's Day is
Happy Valentine's Day.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a fabulous Friday.
Bye, everyone.